Now let us go and talk about today's topic. So today we are going to talk about another collection loop, and we will today cover all the collection loops, at, at least for the workbook related things, for the sheets related things, for the data related things. But as I said, there are many other collection loops, and as we go ahead, we will cover that as well. Now in this collection loop, guys, so what this collection loop is, this is a collection loop which we call it as workbook collection loop. The last time what you did is that was the worksheet collection loop, because we learned how to loop through all the sheets. But what if you have several workbooks opened, several Excel files opened, and you want to go to every workbook one by one? Now what you are supposed to do, that it depends. Maybe you want to go to every workbook and you want to rename all the sheets. Maybe you want to protect them, maybe you want to unprotect them. The idea is, if I have 10 workbooks open, is there anything I can do that, which can take me to all the sheets of each of these workbooks one by one, and then do whatever I want to do? Maybe compiling data would be a good option, isn't it? Yes, we have. So that collection loop actually we call it for each workbook in workbooks. So let us go and talk about that. Let's go to the Visual Basic. This is the same collection loop file. I go and insert the module here, and now I'm gonna write it. So press F4, rename this as workbook collection loop. Workbook collection loop. Okay, so now what we will do, how we write it, let us go and start that workbook loop. And so as usual, you write the for each word. This is a word we will have to write. So go and write for each workbook in workbooks. This is the plural. This is how we write for each worksheet in worksheets, for each workbook in workbooks, right? Now obviously I said that day that this class we cannot use directly. This is a class. Basically, if you go in the object browser and if you check that workbook, you find that there is a class called the workbook, which has lot of methods and the properties, right? Method properties, if you remember the things which you can do when you press dot: open, close, select, all that sort of thing. So these are all the methods properties which come when you press workbook dot. So these are all the things we can use. Many of these things, we do not even know. I personally never actually used it. So there are so many properties and so many methods available in the Excel VBA. So obviously we will go and create a variable. I create it as WB, and this time this is going to be obviously referred to the workbook class. Like in the previous time session we did dim WSS worksheet, right? So I go and change this to for each now my WB, because that WB is now my object, workbook object. So if I start pressing WB, I will be able to see all the things: dot, activate, close, open, everything you will get here. Okay, now once you have done that, if you want to, first of all we will start from the very scratch. I will simply go and say that I want to check the workbook names which are open. So dot name is there, because workbook, like sheets, they have their name. The workbook also have their name. Now since I have not opened any workbook, this should stop immediately at the collection loop, right? And this is how the loop should work. But now what I will do, I will go to my desktop, guys, and maybe I can go and open some uh, any file. Let's say I open this file which has a name called Amit, and now, so this is, you can see here the file is open. Now I go and run this. So let's go and run this code. You got collection loop and you got Amit.xlsm. Can you see that? Automatically, like in the other things, in the other your worksheets also, the worksheet loop used to go. Same way, this is also going to capture all the active workbooks which are open. Now, this is how we write the collection loop. Now, before we start working on any of the project, I want to talk about the important workbook commands with you, right? So let us say, so we will write here workbook commands. So the first thing which I will write, which is a very basic thing, is that how to open the workbook. We all know that. We have recorded the macros many times. So workbook commands. So how you gonna open the workbook, guys? This is how we open. Workbooks dot open. Open is the method. You can see this yellow sign tilted. I told you this represents the method. Method means some action will happen. So obviously open is an action. File name. You want to give the file name. You want to you want to give here the source. You know what is your source of the file. So let's say you want to open maybe this test file. Go to the property of this. Right click here, property, and in the property let's go and select this security. So I go and copy this entire path, and now you just go and use it here, put it within the double quotes, and this is how the workbook will get opened. If I run this complete path including the extension, if you miss anything you will not be able to open the file. So file is open, guys, right? This is how it is. Very nice. Okay, great. Now what if I have to, you know, close the file, or maybe after you get it open you want to actually save the file. So you're gonna write workbooks dot save. You see that save option is not coming, guys. When the save option is not coming, that means this is not a part of workbooks class. So what I can do, maybe I can say that active workbook dot save. This is going to save it. If you go and say no, you want to save it with a different name, say F12, you know, which we use, you can use the save as. Now where you want to save it, because save as is always means that you want to save the file with a different name. So it will ask you now where you want to, you know, want me to save it. So you can give the you know, the path wherever you want to save it. I want to save it in the same, let's say, same path, but I want to save that maybe with dummy1, dummy test. This is what you can do, right? Now I'm using the active workbook here because once the workbook gets opened, that basically becomes the active workbook, right? So we can write the active workbook as well. This is a VBA word. So when I open this file, you can see the test file gets opened, right? And now it is going to save it, obviously. So this is the Excel 2003. Actually you can see .xls. Somebody forwarded me this file. Actually I was working on the project and that person was using 2003 extension .xls. You can see that's why, you know, it's had some compatibility things, the things which are not compatible with when you open any 2003 file in the latest versions. That's what you get to see, but that's okay. The code will definitely work. So saving, I leave it as it is, comment, but save as, look at this, I'm going to save this file. Now you're going to save this file and you see that now the file is saved with the dummy test. You can see that. So if I go to my desktop now, I will have two files. One is the test, which is original. This is the test one, okay, and the another one is the dummy. Let me show you where is the dummy file. You can see that this is my dummy file. It is also created, right? So that's how you can save the files. Now we can also do one thing. So how about adding the workbooks? So this is a command, guys, workbooks dot add. This is to add the workbook, to insert new workbook. Otherwise, what is the shortcut key? Control N. I hope you know, right? So if I run this command, for example, look at this, I will not open it. I will just go and say workbook.add. Look at this, a new file is added. So maybe when you add the new workbook, you know, you can go and save that file as well using the active workbook dot save as. This is how it is, right? So open, and similarly you want to close the file, you can use the active workbook.close as well. This is how you can say. You want to save the changes, you don't want to save the changes. If you want to save the changes, you can write here true. If you do not want to save the changes, you can write there false as well, right? So for example, if you just go and close this file, and let us say I go and run this, and let's say I create this workbook.add. Now the moment you have the new workbook added, that becomes your active workbook. So I'm gonna close it. Look at this, it is gone. It is gone, and you don't see anything on that, right? Now if you go and add a new workbook, and let's say you do something, you go and say that in the range A1, A2, you write here hello. Now see what happens. I go and remove this parameter. This is not mandatory. I go and run this directly. You add the workbook, you print something hello, and when you close this, the prompt will come because you have edited something. Would you like to save this? Don't save, cancel. I say don't save, let's say, right? But this prompt I don't need, I do not want. I want that every time when this workbook gets closed, it should be saved or it should not be saved. So you can write here, let's say false. Let us not save this. I go and run this. You get your workbook added. You get hello printed. Did VB ask you anything? No. So you can avoid this prompt also, right? Now if you want to say that I want to save it, yes, then obviously guys, it's a new file, you have to give it a name, isn't it? So better when before you close it, what you do, you go and say that I want to save this file. After I do my work, I want to save this file. Where? I want to save this file maybe in my D drive with the name of Ajay.xlsx, and then that file should be closed with all the changes. This is how you write, right? Step by step. So when I run this, workbook is added, you have hello printed. We are going to save this file. You see that the file must have been saved. The name of the file is coming, so it is saved now. I go here and I close this. No prompt coming. If I go to my D drive, we should be able to see this. So I take you to my D drive. You should be able to see that file there. So this is the file which is created on 4th of February 2018, 10:26 AM, right? That's how it is. So these are the important commands, guys. You should be knowing about these commands because we're gonna use it when we will go and make a project where we go in every sheet of the workbook, open workbook, and we will go and compile the data from every sheet of every opened workbook. Now let me talk something advanced which many people do not know, and also little, I would say, you can't just understand them by reading some articles or maybe simply by going to the Google. Now they ask this question also. First of all, let me clear this thing. What is the difference between this workbook and active workbook? I'll tell you the difference. Between this workbook and active workbook. What is the difference? Guys, understand. If I go and write here in the message box, for example, message box, this workbook dot name, right? What will happen? You will get the name of the file. Okay. If I go and before this message box, I get my any file open from my desktop. Let me pick up any 2016 file, not this 2003. Maybe I can pick up Amit file. This file amit.xlsm. Now what will happen? See this. I open the file. So once you have the file open, obviously this is the window, this is the file which is activated. Let me double click on it. So Amit file is open. Now if I run this message box, this workbook name, if you think that now you get the amit.xlsm, you are wrong. You will still get collection loops. Why? Because this workbook means the workbook from where you are running this code. This workbook. No matter whatever workbook you have activated, when you write this workbook, by default it is referred to the macro, which is to the macro which is written inside that workbook. Collection loop is that. So this workbook always refers to this workbook, to the workbook from where you're actually handling this entire code. Interestingly, if I put one more message box and I say that now give me the active workbook which we have used in the previous code, now what will happen? You will get the two message boxes. Okay, so I go and close this Amit. I rerun the code and let's see what's gonna happen. So in the background Amit is activated. Let me just double click here. Collection loops, active workbook. Now what is the active workbook? It is Amit. Getting the point? Understanding the difference? This workbook does not matter which active workbook you have, you have on your screen. It does not matter. It can be the same workbook where you are from where you are running this macro, or it can be different. Like in this case it is different, but this workbook will always give you the name of the file which is actually where you have written that macro and you are running the macro. But active workbook simply means what is the active window. What is the active window? My active window is Amit. So this is the difference, right? So that means if I say I open these two workbooks, okay, now what I do, I'm gonna open one more workbook, and that workbook I'm going to open let's say maybe template. Okay, I go and write here template. Now you have guys 3 workbooks open, and the name or maybe variable. Let me write the variable file. So I go and open this 2 files, and then before I get the message box, maybe I get the message box, let's say here, right? And after this, what I will do, I will write here this workbook dot activate. You press Alt tab or you select that workbook. This is how we can select this workbook dot activate. Activate is a method which we use to activate the workbook. And then I will put further one more message box, active workbook dot name. Let us see now what we will get out of this. So I go and run the code. Let me close the file. Okay, so let me go to this Excel also. Now let us go and run the code. So I go and open the file. You have Amit file open, you have variable file open. We couldn't find this file and the name is coming. So obviously this means that either it is the file doesn't exist, or maybe it is renamed. when I programmed it, it has different name. When, you know, maybe some days after, somebody changed the name. Reason could be anything, but you should be clear that what's wrong. Somehow this file is not available, and I know this file is there. I think it's all just the spelling problem, because let me go and check that. Where is my variable file? I press VB and I see only one variable file. This is variable question2, so might be, I think I only saw variable. So variable question2, and it is also the macro file. So macro is already taken care of. I just go and write the name of the file. Yeah, okay. So now I want to go and open this file. So let's go and open this file, and there we go. Now you have the second file also open, guys. Now this message box will return the, as usual, the same file from where you're running this macro, right? But now when you see your active workbook, this will give you the active workbook, means the file which is open, which is activated right now on the screen. Now I can see on my screen right now variable questions2. So it will not show me amit.xlsm. It will show me variable questions2. So I've got it here. Now if you want to toggle, if you want to, go from one workbook to the another workbook, this is how you can write this workbook dot activate. You know what will happen? The workbook which you have activated, this collection workbook is going to be activated, right? I'll show you. You didn't see that. I just go and do it again. So the question is now, if this workbook gets activated, what would I get in the active workbook name? I told you active workbook is very dynamic. It always changes as per the active window. So if you have collection loop in the active window, you will get the same workbook name, right? So this is the difference basically between this workbook and the active workbook, because this workbook always talks about the workbook where you are writing the program and you are running the macro, and active workbook is something else. Active workbook can be anything. That can be this workbook, or that can be some other workbook, right? So this is something you should always keep in your mind. Now I want to also tell you a couple of more commands. For example, once you selected this workbook, you want to go back to the variable question file, guys. So if you want to go back to the this collection, if you want to go back to this variable question file, how will you activate it? This is how we activate it. Workbooks, and then you go and write the name of the file, which is variable question. So I just go and, or maybe I write Amit. Let's say amit.xlsm. Now you don't have to provide the complete path because it is already opened. So you can refer to the workbook name only, right? Now again, if I put the message box here, active workbook name, you should be able to get the Amit workbook name, right? So I go and close this file, and we will again start this. I go and close this file as well. So now let's go and run the code. So I run F8. Amit file is open. Variable questions2 file is open. So what is the workbook name? Yeah, it's the collection loop. What is the active workbook name? You see the variable questions. You want to go back to your original workbook. You see that you have collection loop activated. What is the active workbook now? It's collection loop. Now you say that I want to go to the Amit activate. So you go to the Amit file. You can see that Amit is activated. Now what is the active workbook dot name? Active workbook becomes Amit. So you have the Amit file, guys. This is how you can write all these commands from when you want to go from one workbook to the another workbook. Now let's say I want to close this file also. So you can close the file. Which file you want to close? First of all, I want to close the active workbook. So you can go and write active workbook dot close. Okay, and while closing you want to save the changes. If you have done some editing, it will ask you, do you want to save, do you want to change the file? When we go in something, I write something and I just go and close this file, this will ask me, would you like to save the changes? So the same thing is coming there. If you want to avoid that kind of a prompt, you can write here that close the file, but with the changes, save the changes, right? Now this will close the active workbook. But what if I want to close maybe some another workbook which I have not activated it? In that case, you can't write active workbook.close. So that, can you write this workbook.close? Of course not, because this will close the file which is responsible for your macro running, from where you're running the macro. How can you close that file? Because if you're going to close this file, if you have something written after this also, that will never run, because you're getting your workbook closed. So please do not use this. If you want to use it, make sure you know that what you're doing. Okay, maybe after you do everything, then you want to close it in last, then that's okay. But what if you want to close some specific workbook? Then you go and write the name of that workbook, and let's say I want to close this particular file, which is variable questions 2. So I just go and copy this, and I go and put it in the double quotes, and I say that close, so this is how it is. So once I get this workbook closed, obviously I will go and write here true. This will get closed, guys. Let's go and talk about this now. So again, I go and close this, or maybe we can do one thing. Let me keep both the files open. You can see that I have got Amit and variable questions, collection loops, all the files open here. I go and run this program, but I will do one thing. Instead of going here, I'll directly drag this, and I'll say that active workbook.close. Now if you run this line, your active workbook right now is Amit. Let me run this. Can you see that it is closed, right? Now this is something, this is not the error, and neither you're gonna get it. This is my something, the settings related thing, but you see you're not getting any prompt that would you like to save the changes, because I have said true. So the file will get closed with the save changes. Now the question is, would you like to close a file which you have not activated? Yes, you can do that. You can simply write that file name, and if it is open, it is going to close. If it is not open and you have written that name, it will give you the error, the file not found, the path not found, right? So I go and close that, and you can see the file even gone. That's gone. You don't see that file, right? So similarly, guys, if you want to, so this is specifically you are actually, what you're doing here, you are closing a workbook by giving its name, any specific workbook. This is a workbook where you are not giving any name, but what you are saying is that we are closing here the active workbook, whatever active workbook, the active window, that's going to be closed, right? If I go and write this workbook.close, this should be written in last, because this will close the macro file. So this means that this is going to close the file where macros are stored and being run, right? So you use this very carefully. Now what if I want to close all the files, guys? All the files means if I have 10 workbooks open, who would go and write their name? Yes, you can do that. You can write here workbooks.close. I can write here, so workbooks.close, it does not ask for any parameter. That means it gonna close all the files. But remember, this will close your own file as well. Okay, so maybe I want to close everything after doing all the work. So let's go and check that. First I save this file. Let me save the data. Now I go and by the way, let me change my settings. This document inspector is coming again and again. Just remove that. Okay, so I click OK now. Save the file. Great, no problem coming. Now let's go and run the program. Now Up till this point, without closing anything, I quickly go and run this. This is a break code. I think we talked about this. This means that I don't want to run the entire code from this line to this line on the F8 mode, because I know what is going to happen. I'm confident, I know all that. So why don't we just go and click on the F5 and just run it, so that the program should run immediately. So all these lines before the breakpoint, they will be executed, and you see that the message box is coming for both the files, and this is also coming, and finally this is also coming, and so we have all the message boxes 4 coming, and the line stops here. Now from here we will go and actually see that what we have done. Now I'm not going to close this file, because if I run this, Amit will get closed. I want to show you that directly if you execute this line, workbooks.close, see what is going to happen, guys. I run this. Can you see that? Everything is gone, guys. Everything. Right? So workbooks close will actually close everything. So now I reopen, let's go to the folder. Let me reopen the file. Yeah. Any questions you have so far? Everything is clear? Okay. Now I'm going to tell you something very important. How to refer to the workbooks. Now you would say that we already learned that, how to refer to the workbooks, how to close, how to save, how to open, right? How to activate. This is also okay. But I want to tell you that how a good programmer write the things. This is very awkward, you go and writing the names of the files and then closing them, activating them. You can also create your own object variables and say that I is going to be referred to variable question, J is going to be referred to Amit, and C is going to be referred to my file, collection loop. That will make your code so simple, because next time when you want to activate any workbook, you will not write this entire command. You only write C.activate, B.activate. That is what we are going to do. So see this now. This is very important. How to define the objects. Define and use the workbook object. If you remember in the date in the introduction chapter, variables, we saw that there is a command over there, object. Though we have already started using the object commands, like this dim WSS worksheet workbooks, but this is another way. We're gonna today define the specific workbooks as well, not general but specific workbook. Okay, just 1 second. पानी मत डालना, ठीक है? पानी मत डालो. Okay. Now I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to open my workbooks quickly. I want to open the same files. Let me copy this from here. Pay attention. I got my 2 workbooks open now. Now what I will do, I want to activate Amit, variable question, and then collection loop. So instead of writing me like this workbooks, the first time I write Amit.xlm dot activate, then variable question 2 dot XLSM activate, and then I keep on switching from one workbook to another workbook. So that's very difficult. Let's do one thing. You do one thing. Whenever you get your workbook open, immediately assign a object to it. For example, this is Amit file, this is a variable file. Okay, so I create here two objects, two workbook objects. Let's say I write here dim wb1 as workbook, dim wb2 as workbook. You can give any name, that depends, I mean, how it suits you. It should be readable and you should be able to understand that workbook 1 refers to Amit, workbook 2 refers to variable question. Maybe you can write here the name of the file as well, like workbook 2 variable. That's all up to you. Now what I'm trying to say is, because you said that wb1 is your workbook, so you obviously, as I said that day also, when you press wb1 dot, you start seeing all the methods and the properties which are given to workbook class by Microsoft VBA, right? So we can do all the things here. First thing is clear. But now this is like, you declared dim I as integer, but you are not using I. You're not using I anywhere. If I say I equals to 100, obviously I have to define it, otherwise option explicit will never let me go and work on that code, And if I say dim I is integer, why would I declare it if I don't have to use it? Obviously somewhere I will use that I, So same way guys, when you say that your wbin is your workbook, now workbook is a generic statement. Which workbook you refer? You want to refer. There we go. Once you get that workbook open, that becomes your active workbook. You already know that. You go and say set wb1 equals to active workbook. Now you say that why I'm using set word? Because when you write dim I as integer or long, whatever, string, you say I equals to 100 or maybe range a1 dot value, whatever. You don't use set word because these are not the objects. Long, integer, they are the data types, but they are not the object data types. I mean, they are not like workbook, worksheet, So guys, there is a rule. When you deal with the object, like a workbook, like a worksheet, like a range, like a chart, like a pivot, like a folder, you have to write the set word. If you don't write it, you will get the error set is not defined. Crystal clear error. Now what happens when you say that set w1 equals to active workbook, VBA start treating wb1 object as Amit file. And similarly, when you get the another file open, you just go and write here wb2 equals to active workbook. This will be remembered by VBA, right? So what does that mean? That means if I get these files get open, for example, let me just go and run this first of all. Okay, so you have Amit file open, wb1 is recorded in the memory. Now you have another workbook open and this is going in the wb2. Done. Okay. Now how will you check? Now very simple. If I have to go to collection loop, the original file where I have written the macro, I don't have to create any object for that. Though you can, I mean, wb3 you can create, but what is the use? Because when you have a direct command, you can say, activate. This workbook is pretty fine, you can write this workbook. So I run this. What will happen now? Obviously, it will take you to the collection loop file. It is. Now, if I say message box, wb2.name, what do you think? What name will you get if I just put the message box here? Let us go and see that. Can you see that? VBA remembers everything. What do you mean by it? That means WB2 can be used anywhere now. How easy it is for you. That means if you want to select that wb2 file, You don't write the workbooks and then the workbook name. Just go and write wb2.activate. You want to save that file with the different name. Just go and write wb2.save as. And then just give it a name. Maybe wherever you want to, write. I want to save that file, let's say, with some another name. If I want to do that, I can do that. XLSM. You can do that. You want to close that file. Of course, whatever methods, properties you have with the workbook class, WB2 will behave accordingly. And you want to close that. Do it. I'll just comment this. So what if you activate WB2 and you now want to activate Amit file? You already know that Amit file is WB1 activated. Can we go and check that? Let's go and check that. Can you see that, guys? You have your variable question file activated. Can we go to another file? Of course you can. So what is the benefit? Now something I want to clear. Now if you don't declare the words like this, because some people find it difficult, right? Because I don't know, it all depends upon, from where you're actually learning these things, right? The thing is, if you know the concept, if you know how it is written, you definitely go and would like to use it, because this makes your life so easy. You can quickly toggle from the different workbooks, or you can do whatever you want to do. It's very easy for us. Just declare them once and you are done. Now for example, let me put here one more workbook, and I write here just for the fun, this WB as a workbook. Okay, now this WB, or maybe I write here WB3, right? Actually what I'm saying, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to refer WB3 as this workbook, collection loop. So what you have to do now maybe you have already that collection file open, so you won't write that open the file and then keep it as active workbook. No, because this is already activated. So WB3 can be written simply like this, set WB3, because it is already open, so I can say that this is going to be this workbook. That's it. So one is your active workbook, one is your this workbook. If I write WB3 is this workbook, obviously when you write here WB3.activate, this will select the collection loop file. However, as I said, I will not refer this because I already have a this workbook command, so I will not go and create these two extra lines. Indirectly, here also you are saying that WB3 is going to be this workbook. So better at least for the workbook which is from where you are running the macro, that can be handled quite easily with this workbook. You can close this workbook.close, you can save this workbook.save as, you can do whatever you want. This workbook that is sufficient for us. So this way you can refer to the different workbooks. Let us open variable question. Now that becomes the active workbook, because this is what I have opened. So when you say WB2 is equals to active workbook, WB2 becomes active workbook, which is your variable question. And then again you say that WB1 becomes also active workbook. So WB1 also becomes the same workbook, right? Now for example, if you declare dim I as integer and dim j as integer, can we not say that I equals to range a1 dot value and j also equals to range a1 dot value? Is there any clash? Syntax is okay. I can refer a1 cell to both the variables. What is the challenge? VB will not stop me that no, a1 value is already given to I, so why would I go and create another variable, and give that value to that second variable? It is not like that. You can declare 4 variables and you can write 4 variables equals to range a1 dot value, if that is a requirement, right? That is what we are doing. WB2 active workbook, WB1 active workbook. Okay, now then you go to the this workbook dot activate. You are on the collection loop. Now the question is, what is in the message box of WB2? You already defined WB2 as active workbook when you got open variable question. So we know variable question comes. Here also same file comes. Now what I did, I went to the Amit file, because nowhere I have defined Amit as a variable, so I have to write the name there. So it goes to the Amit. Now you say WB1 is now active workbook. So what you are doing, you are overwriting the previous WB1 with this line now, right? So obviously guys, if I write I equals to 100 and then I write I equals to 200 and then I ask you what will be the final value in the I, your answer should be 200, isn't it? Because previous 100 will be overwritten. VB always executes the lines from the top to bottom. So what the VB sees in the last, that will be executed. So finally now you are changing the WB1 reference. Of course you can do that. Here also you are writing active workbook. There also, previously also you have written active workbook. What is the difference? This time active workbook is Amit. So there we go. Now you say WB2 is this workbook. Everybody has given the correct answer on that, so I will not talk about it. But when it comes to the message box, this workbook is WB2, so obviously you will get the collection loop. WB1 name, you know that you defined it, you referred it to the Amit. So you have Amit. That's it. This is how it is. Now this is all about the workbook part. But we will not stop here. We can define the sheets also. You can also define the sheets, and I do this a lot. For example, I want to refer to my dummy file. So I don't like writing, sheets and then dummy.select, sheets, sheet2 dot select. No. We can create the objects for that as well. So what are you going to do? See this. Sub work with the sheets. First of all, we will talk about only this workbook. Now guys, collection loop is already this workbook. So I don't create an object for that, but because you should know both the things, I'm going to tell you again this thing. I say that WB as this workbook, or you can also declare it as workbook. That's all up to you. Okay, as this workbook, set my WB equals to this workbook. This means that now I can use WB for my collection loop. As I said, you have a choice, because this workbook already is a command given to us. So maybe I don't like to create a variable for this. This comes good option when I'm working on the multiple files, but still I'm creating it. So now I say that this is my workbook and I want to always go in the dummy sheet. How you write? This is how you write. We all know that. Can we go and create some object for this, a sheet object? Yes. How? I say that my worksheet is going to be WS1 now, or maybe dummy. I'm declaring dummy, the name of the file as dummy. Dummy as worksheet, because now it is a worksheet. But what it refers to, you have to give the value, allocate. If dim I is integer, I has to be something, that's why you're declaring. So set word comes, because this is the object. So what is it now, guys? This belongs to this workbook. This workbook is what? WB dot sheet, and then the name of the sheet, dummy. Simple. That means just declaring it one time, now you can use this anywhere inside this code. So whenever you say that I want to go in the dummy, just go and write dummy. Now people will, or you should also understand, this is a variable. This is not a actually sheet name. I deliberately given it a same name, but I can give this name anything, Dummy.select does not mean that actually it's my sheet name. It's an object which I created. I mean, I can also create WS like this. That's all. It's my choice, But I prefer writing it dummy, because dummy is not a VBA word. It's my own created word. So, or maybe dummy underscore WS also I can create. Or maybe you can create D underscore WS as well, to keep it short, Now this, I think, I leave it to you, how you want to do it. But the point is, if you run this line, your D underscore WS is now considered as a dummy sheet. So it doesn't matter wherever you are, whenever you say dot select, it is going to take you to that sheet. So this is a fantastic thing. Now what if I want to print something? I'm on the sheet 1. I want to print 100 in the A10 cell of dummy sheet. I told you this thing that you can print the values without going to that sheet, but how you write? In this case, you will write sheet dummy, you write range A1 dot value, and you give something, let's say, but you already have defined your dummy sheet. So can you just not write d underscore ws dot range, and then just you go and write A1 dot value? Of course, let me run this. This is done. Maybe let's define that sheet 2 also. So how are you going to define sheet 2, guys? Give it a name first of all. So what name you want to give? I'm going to give it, let's say, sh2 worksheet. Set sh2 equals to, what is the name? wb dot, wb is what? This workbook. Now you can also write this workbook. That's all up to you. That's why I said that, this line actually is not really so useful. I mean, this line, but I'm just trying to tell you that you can also refer, you can also define the objects, you can also create your own object which refers to collection loop, right? So I mean, that's how it is. So you write this workbook or you write WB, it's one and the same thing, because it belongs to this workbook. And I write here sheet, and you got to write here sheet name. So you just need to write the sheet names once, and now whenever you go and say that you want to select the sheet 2, it will select the sheet 2. So when I run this, you see that now I write this and I'm back on sheet 2. So this is a good way of declaring your objects. This keeps your life so easy. Now what if I have got some more workbooks open, isn't it? For example, let's go and write this. This is this workbook. What if I want to refer to the external sheets of the object WB1? Immediately when the file gets open, I'm gonna make it active workbook. And now this is my set WB2 equals to active workbook, right? So we have the 2 workbooks getting open. Okay, and maybe we can do one thing, guys. Let's declare this as Amit. Let's declare this as var variable. Easy for us, isn't it? And then these files get opened. I'll just go and open first of all these files. Okay, now you see, now you want to refer to this sheet 3 or maybe 2. Let's say I want to go to the second sheet. Now how will you go to the second sheet? Second sheet of maybe variable file, not the variable, let's say Amit file. Obviously guys, first you have to select that workbook. You have to go there, So I'm gonna say that Amit.activate, right? So I run this code, Amit gets activated, and now here what I will write, Amit.sheets. This is how you write, Amit.sheets, and then the sheet name Q1.select. That's how we write, isn't it? So I run this, and this will select the Q1, right? Now what I'm trying to tell you is, what if you want to refer this, you want to create your own object for this worksheet as well, which is coming from the another file? Is it possible? Yes, we can try to do that, right? So what you will do, you will create here let me reset the code. You'll create a worksheet variable here. So let's say I create here with the Amit, again I write here Amit Q1, maybe, or maybe Q1. I mean, that's again, I leave it to you. I declare it as a worksheet. Now, when I declare Amit as workbook, maybe at that point in time, I can say that, so because that becomes the active workbook, so Amit is defined. So maybe we can say that Amit now Q1 should refers to what? Should refers to Amit dot sheet. Now here guys, you will not write this workbook. Getting my point? Like previously we were writing this workbook then dot sheets, because this workbook refers to the collection. So what will happen? Amit Q1 will be linked with this workbook file. So because Amit is the active workbook, and we will simply go and write Amit dot sheets and the name of the sheet Q1. This is how it is, right? So the next time when I say Amit dot activate, like in this case, and I say that Amit Q1 dot select, that's gonna select that sheet. So if we go and run this code again, open Amit file. Amit is now going to be active workbook. So this refers to my sheet. You can see this is also done. Open the variable questions. Let's define var as, this file. Okay. Now, if you see my Amit file, my selection is on Q6 right now. Okay. Now I want to tell you something. Now, if you, without activating the Amit workbook, you just write Amit Q1 dot select. Is it going to work? You see that the line ran. I did not activate Amit. It's still on the variable. Has it run? Can we go and check? Look at this. This is so powerful. Without going there, you're doing so many things. You're just selecting that file. How is it possible? It is possible because you have already said that Amit Q1 is coming from Amit.sheets, and Amit is what? Amit is your active workbook. So when you write Amit Q1.select, it goes there and selects the file sheet without changing the window. If you want to change the window, obviously, you can write Amit.activate as well. So the point I'm trying to make is, by simply sitting on one window, you can control the other windows also by declaring the object for that. This covers your worksheet and workbook commands as well as how to define them using the set word. As I said, you can also avoid these all things. I mean, if you do not want to write the set words, then you have to write the entire syntaxes. You have to write the entire workbook names if you want to go there, right? This is just a shortcut, and this is the very convenient way of doing it, right? But because we are learning together, so I want that you should start using these things. Initially it may take time, but once you do it 3-4 times, you will never leave this, because this makes you so comfortable in dealing with these all workbooks. Now let us go ahead and start the workbook collection loop. So I close this file. Now I want to do one thing. What I want to do is, I want to compile the data. We have already seen how to compile the data from the different sheets. But I want to now show you how about having multiple workbooks open and going to every sheet of that file and copying the data from there. So I go and write this workbook select. I will not immediately start copying the data. First of all, I want to show you how you can go in every workbook and select their respective sheets. all the sheets we will go and select. So I go and first of all open the two files. Let's say I open the same files again. So these are the two files I have got opened right in front of you. Now what I will do, guys, I will say dim wb as workbook. Now we are running collection loop. Okay, collection loop. I want to go to every workbook one by one. For each workbook, in workbooks, next workbook, right? This is how we write. Okay, and you want to go to every workbook one by one. So what you will do? Activate it. You just learned the command .activate. That is why I discussed those commands with you, so that when I run the collection loop, you should not be feeling uncomfortable. So you know workbook can be activated, right? We saw that. So this way, now let us see what will happen. First of all, I put the break code here, and let's go and run this. Variable not defined. Which variable I forgot? Sorry, this is workbooks, you know, workbooks plural. Okay, we run this. So now you have the workbook command. There we go. Now you see that collection loop is activated, Amit is activated, variable question is activated. Loop finishes because all the three workbooks are activated. That's all. Simple. Right? But now my question is that I don't want to go and activate the workbook. I want to do that, but at the same time I want to go in every sheet also of that workbook. So what you will do? Now this is very important. Once you have the workbook activated, how do you know how many worksheets are there? Neither you know this, nor you know the name of the sheets, that you can go and start writing, you know, sheet A select, sheet B select. No, because every workbook will have a different name. So there comes the collection loop called for each worksheet in worksheets, which we did last time. Now you're going to run the sub loop in the loop. You should also know the art of creating two loops together, how to make a sub loop in the loop. Now what I will do, I will create one more object here, ws as worksheet. Once I have activated my workbook, before I go for the next workbook, guys, let us say that for each worksheet in worksheets, this is how we write next worksheet, and select the worksheet. So whatever workbook will be activated, before it goes for the next workbook, this loop, inner loop, will finish first. So naturally it will loop through all the worksheets of that active window. So let's go and check that. So I go and close this again. So you're running loop in loop, you know. So now I go and run this. I just go and open the files. Both the files are going to be opened. Now for each workbook in workbook, so you can see that the last file is open as variable question. wb.activate will take you to the first workbook, which is collection loop. Now once the collection loop is activated, this loop will fire. It starts selecting all the sheets of this file. Done. All the sheets covered. Time to go for the bigger loop now. Out of this worksheet loop, next workbook. Do we have any other workbook? Yes, of course we have. Can we go and activate it first? Now if you're thinking why I'm activating, you know what, if you don't activate it, what will happen, your window will remain same and this loop will keep on running here only, which you do not want to do that. I told you this thing. So for each worksheet will run on the active window, on the active workbook. So definitely we have to go to the next workbook. Now this becomes active workbook. Now you can see that we are going in every sheet one by one. finally we are done. Because here all the workbooks are activated. Now there is no other workbook. So what we have done, we have looped through all the sheets of this active workbook. Any questions? Now we will go and do the last thing. I just go and put some data here. Okay, so this is my data, for example. So what I do is, let's say this data is here. One more data I'm going to put in all the sheets quickly. Let me just put all these files here. Okay, I go and save this. I want to compile all the data and put it in one test file. This is now the third time we are doing this. But again, as you know, this time again we have more challenges. And the challenges we have now, we are not actually just targeting one workbook. We are targeting the other workbooks as well. And you have a data here, for example. These all files have the data, right? Different data. Obviously, we will make the control shift down arrow key and right arrow, so program will be dynamic. You have to compile the data from every sheet and put it in the test file, and that test file also will get created, guys. Now we are not going to create it before running the code. We will create in the code itself. Again, one more thing now. Okay, so what we will do, you get these files open. I agree with that. And when you get these files opened, maybe you can do one thing. You can write here that please add one more workbook, which is a new workbook, obviously. And then that active workbook we are going to, because once you add that workbook, that will be saved, that we need to save. So I'm going to save that workbook maybe in my D drive. So I'm going to give it a name called let's say ramesh.xlsx. Okay, this is what we're going to do. So active workbook will be saved as D colon hyphen Ramesh. Now when you run the code, first of all make sure that so this workbook also, let's say this also has data. This also has data. I have written the data everywhere, right? So all this data will be copied along with the other data. But obviously the workbook which is added, which you have created as Ramesh, that is empty. And there we need to put the data. So you want to avoid this, because you know this loop will run on the Ramesh also. And we don't want to run on the Ramesh, because if the Ramesh file comes, we are not interested in going in the worksheet of the Ramesh, because that's a file where the data should go and add. So you can put the if condition here that if the workbook name is equals to Ramesh. I'm not sure if I told you this thing. In the VBA, if are case sensitive, make sure you write in the correct case. So if I say that if the workbook name is XLSX, if the workbook name is not ramesh.xlsx, then please go and activate the workbook and run the entire loop, But if it is Ramesh, then you go and say else and if. Else, do not do anything. Because if it is Ramesh, I do not want to loop through it. So I simply say this entire portion, this entire portion, this entire loop does not hold any meaning for that file. That's how I've written it, the code. So your if is also coming now. Okay. And now, obviously, once you select the sheet, guys, any sheet, we will go in the A1. This we have done it so many times. We select it, and then from there we use the range selection, comma, selection, and Excel to right, dot select, and then Excel down. You want to copy that, selection.copy, this is how we do it. Now you want to go back to your Ramesh file. You know, you want to activate that Ramesh, so you can write here workbooks ramesh.xls.activate, but we have learned how to define the objects. So can we not say when you save the file as Ramesh, immediately write there then wb final, okay, as workbook, and say that set wb final equals to active workbook. You know, this will help us. Or maybe guys, I just create it as w. Let's keep it simple. You know, w is Ramesh now. So here I simply go and select the Ramesh. So easy for me, isn't it? And then when the Ramesh comes, you know, control up arrow, you say age 10,000 dot end XLR, offset it by one row. I'm writing offset in single line now. You should be comfortable with this. This will take me to the blank cell, and then there I'm gonna say that active cell dot paste special or selection dot paste special, whatever it is. Paste special, paste all, paste value, whatever you want. I say paste all. Formula will also be pasted, but if you have a formula, make sure you use the paste value. Now once this is done, once you have pasted the data in the Ramesh, you want to come back to the file. Which file now? Because you never know, you know, on which workbook you would be working there. So obviously, you know, wb.activate is there, because wb refers to that workbook. I mean, let's go and check that now. Let's go and run this, and then we will understand. So first thing which I will do, let me run this code step by step only. So let's go and run this. So the first thing we will do is we will open Amit. We will open the variable questions, right? Now if you think that why I'm not declaring set object variables to Amit and, you know, variable, basically guys, the requirement is not that, because for each loop will take care of everything, because we are going to every workbook one by one, so there is no point of for me to declare them, you know. That's okay. This is important for me because this is a new file and I do not want to get this counted in the loop. So I added one workbook. I have to save this because this has no name, otherwise how will you refer? So you go and save this, and you can see that it is saved also in the D drive. And now I say that this is my active workbook. Okay, so I got some problem here. Object required. Object required means obviously this is my object, but because of the spelling mistakes it failed to notice, so I just go and write B. Okay, now W is going to be Ramesh, remember that. So the loop starts, guys. Now what is the first name I'm gonna capture here? My loop captured the collection loop, which is my own file. Is that equals to Ramesh? Of course, you know it is not equals to Ramesh. So what will happen? You will go in the then. Time to activate it then. Let's go that. Now time when you activate it, time to run the loop. Let's go to every sheet one by one. So the first sheet will be selected. It is already selected. I go in the A1. I go and say that copy the data. Now w.activate. You see that? So easy. Go to the Ramesh. From the A1000, go to the offset 1,0. Here it comes because one row it is moving. We will see the real use of this when the second time the data gets pasted. Right now you may think that this is why we are pasting the data on the A2, not A1. So the data is pasted. Now once the data is pasted, you have to go back to which workbook? How do I know? Because there are so many workbooks, you know, but I am sure that the workbook, the same workbook where this loop is running for each worksheet, and that workbook was collection loop, if you remember, right? So wb.activate will automatically take you there. You don't have to specifically write the name. So this is done. Now time to go for the next worksheet. Do we have any other sheet? Of course we have sheet 2. Select that, go in the A1, select the data, copy the data, go to the Ramesh. Now this is coming important. This is, now you will understand. I run this, you see control up arrow and offset it. I'm writing this in single line. Generally we used to write in the previous codes range A10,000.endXLUp.select, and then we used to write active cell offset 1,0, but you can also merge the entire syntax. Basically it is doing control up arrow, and from the control up arrow it is moving one row down, right? So that's why you are on the blank cell. Now we will paste the data. Nice. Let's go back to the workbook. Next worksheet. again the data pasted. You can see that you have done. All the sheets are covered, right? So automatically the loop will exit. Time to go for the next workbook, guys. So what is the next workbook? Let's go and check that. Amit. Is it equals to Ramesh? No. So then this is true. So you will have that activated. So again, now I go in the worksheet of my Amit file. So there we go. We have the data copied. Come back to this file, paste the data, and this will run. Let me run this quickly. You can see that how powerful is it. All the sheets are coming. And how small is your code, by the way? This is the last sheet. Once the sheets are done, the loop will finish automatically. Time to go for the next workbook. Do we have any other workbook? Yes, we have variable questions 2, which is again not equals to Ramesh. So you go and do that. Select the data, copy the data, put it here. Go to the second sheet, copy the data, third sheet, and there we go. Finish, done. Do we have any other workbook? Yes, we have, I guess, which is Ramesh. Is this not equals to Ramesh.xlsx? Remember case sensitivity. Of course, they are equal. So your condition fails. Now guys, when your condition fails, would you like to do something? Of course not. So what will happen now? It will go in the else mode. And if next workbook now. We are skipping the Ramesh totally. Do we have any other file after this? I don't think so. And also, one more thing you can do, guys. You can also get quickly, close these workbooks, all the workbooks. Maybe you can get this workbook also closed, which is Ramesh. Make sure you save the changes so that you should not be prompted. What about the another workbooks? Well, since you have not defined them, so better you just go and declare them here, because whatever workbooks you are getting open, you want to close them. So you can write your workbooks, write the name. As I said that you can also go and create the object variables for them, just in case if you want. So then you will just write wb1.close and all that stuff, right? Close. You want to save the changes? No, that's okay, because that was just to copy the data. You make it true or false, doesn't matter, because you are not changing the data. And here you will write Amit. XLSX. This is how it is. So I'm going to put this back, guys. Let's go. And this workbook done. Message box you can put before also, after closing the workbooks also, or before also, doesn't matter. The user knows that it is done now. And finally now the workbook is going to be closed with the save changes. So you see that, okay, object variable not set. You can see that what it says. I think the set word is missing somewhere. I don't know. Let me check that. WB is okay, my mistake. Who will tell me what is the problem? Why it is saying that set word is not defined? I'll tell you. Because this WB demands set. But the point is, I thought I defined it on the top, but the thing is that's not WB, that's W. Basically WB refers to this loop, and in this loop there is no need to define set word, because every time you will have a different workbook and the loop will take care of everything. Actually this is W, which refers to Ramesh. So instead of writing WB, I should have written W. So let me close that. Now you can see that Ramesh is closed, variable question is closed, this is also closed. Subscript out of range, that clearly means that this is not, VB is not able to find out this file. Perhaps it's because of the extension. It's XLSM. Okay, I close this, and finally guys, you are done. So the program runs, everything is okay. Now I can show you in my D drive that whether we have got the data compiled or not. Here we should see some file with the name of Ramesh, which is done, and I go and open the file, and we should see all the data compiled there. So you can see that we have got all the data. So the combination of for each workbook and for each worksheet is so powerful, right? So This is how your entire loop is. So we'll stop here, and in the next session we will be talking about one more collection loop for each cell in a range. So I'll see you now in the next chapter, and also